Gary Burghoff was an absolute delight. He brought that great charm to Radar, the teddy bear, the cuddliness, the naivete.
Few television series have left as profound a mark on American pop culture as MASH. Renowned for its groundbreaking blend of humor and drama, the show not only captivated audiences during its 11-year run, but also set a viewership record with its unforgettable series finale. Despite its lasting legacy and the widespread love it continues to receive, many behind-the-scenes stories and intriguing facts remain surprisingly lesser known. Today, we'll lift the veil off all such secrets and also reveal which star of the show utterly hated Gary Burghoff and why it was so. Let's get started. Number 20. Origins and Adaptation. Most viewers, even the loyal allies of the show, probably don't know that the MASH television series is adapted from the 1968 novel MASH, a novel about three Army doctors, written by Dr. H. Richard Hornberger under the pen name Richard Hooker, along with co-author W.C. Hines. The book draws heavily on Hornberger's own experiences as a surgeon during the Korean War, blending dark humor with the harsh realities of wartime medicine. Its candid and satirical portrayal of military life and the challenges faced by medical personnel provided a unique foundation for the series. The novel's success laid the groundwork for a television adaptation that captured both the comedic and dramatic elements of the source material. By focusing on the lives of three Army doctors, the story offered a mix of irreverent humor and poignant commentary on the absurdities and tragedies of war. We've just scratched the surface here. As we go deeper, we'll unveil many shocking and largely unknown facts about the show. Number 19. Writing the Pilot. Larry Gelbart, an accomplished and seasoned screenwriter, had long been immersed in the bustling world of Hollywood. Yet, like many who navigate the relentless pressures of the entertainment industry, he eventually grew weary of the lifestyle. Seeking solace and a change of pace, Gelbart relocated to London, hoping to find new inspiration and distance from the often overwhelming Hollywood scene. However, even across the Atlantic, the pull of an intriguing project proved irresistible. When Gelbart was approached to write the pilot for MASH, he couldn't pass up the opportunity. Despite his initial intentions to step back from the Hollywood machine, Gelbart recognized the unique potential of the concept. Remarkably, he crafted the pilot script in just 2 days. The urgency with which he completed the script did not compromise its quality. Instead, it seemed to channel his creative energy into something exceptional. The network, recognizing the brilliance of his rapid accomplishment, rewarded him handsomely, paying Gelbart $25,000 for his work. The pilot, which premiered on September 17, 1972, marked the beginning of a television phenomenon. Gelbart's swift yet thoughtful approach set the tone for the entire series, merging sharp wit with poignant storytelling. His writing laid the foundation for MASH's enduring success, proving that even a project born out of unexpected opportunity could leave a lasting impact. Number 18. Casting Choices and Changes. Did you know that McLean Stevenson originally hoped to be cast as Hawkeye Pierce, the lead surgeon? But of course, the role ultimately went to Alan Alda. Meanwhile, comedian Robert Klein was offered the part of Trapper John McIntyre, but declined, opening the way for Wayne Rogers to take the role. Despite his prominent place on the show, Rogers never signed a formal contract, which allowed him the freedom to leave the series whenever he chose. This uncertain contract situation created an unusual dynamic on set, as Rogers' ability to exit at any moment added tension behind the scenes. His departure after 3 seasons reflected this unique arrangement, which contrasted with the more stable contracts held by other main cast members. The casting choices and contractual nuances shaped the early development of the show's core characters and influenced its evolving ensemble. Speaking of the evolving ensemble, you're not going to believe this. Number 17. Klinger was not supposed to be a recurring character. When the character of Maxwell Q. Klinger was first conceived for MASH, he was originally intended to appear in just one episode. Initially, the concept was inspired by a story from comedian Lenny Bruce, who once claimed to have been discharged from the Navy after professing homosexual tendencies. The idea was to present Klinger as a soldier trying to get dismissed from military service. However, the writers and the network decided to take a different approach. Instead of portraying Klinger as a gay character, a portrayal that could have been considered controversial on television at the time, they reimagined him as a straight man who wore women's clothing to appear unfit for service. This creative twist not only preserved the comedic intent, but also allowed the character to fit seamlessly into the show's light-hearted yet thoughtful tone. What began as a brief comedic role quickly grew into something much more significant. The unique blend of humor and resilience that Klinger embodied, brought to life by Jamie Farr's outstanding performance, made the character an instant hit. Audiences connected with Klinger's determination and resourcefulness, and his antics became a staple of the series. Rather than simply being a one-note gag, Klinger evolved into one of the most beloved and enduring characters on MASH. Farr understood the nuances of military life, from the rigid routines to the ways soldiers would push boundaries to maintain their individuality. His character Klinger was famously known for his cross-dressing antics as part of his attempts to secure a discharge on the grounds of mental instability. While Klinger's antics were played for laughs, Farr's portrayal remained grounded, conveying both the desperation and creativity of a soldier seeking escape from the harsh realities of war. The personal connection to military life helped Farr infuse Klinger with a sense of realism, making him more than just a comic relief character. Number 15. The story of the laughter track. When MASH was in its early stages, both Larry Gelbart, the pilot's writer, and Gene Reynolds, the executive producer, strongly opposed the use of a laugh track. They felt that the show's blend of comedy and serious wartime drama shouldn't rely on canned laughter, which might undermine the tone. However, CBS, the network airing the show, insisted on including a laugh track because it was standard practice for all 30-minute sitcoms at the time. To reach a compromise, the producers agreed that the laugh track would not be used during the operating room scenes, where the tone was more serious and somber. As the series progressed, the laugh track was gradually used less frequently and then dropped altogether in the 11th season. Interestingly, when MASH aired in the UK on the BBC, the laugh track was omitted entirely, allowing the show to stand out as a drama comedy. Number 14. Cameos and real connections. MASH featured an impressive lineup of notable guest stars including Ron Howard, Leslie Nielsen, and Patrick Sees. Ron Howard, known for his youthful charm, appeared as a Marine eager to serve, capturing the complexities of innocence and duty. Leslie Nielsen, famous for his later comedic roles, showcased his dramatic range in a serious and thoughtful portrayal. Patrick Sees, before his rise to stardom, played a soldier facing a grim diagnosis, delivering a performance that balanced strength and vulnerability. But wait, that's not all. The show's creators also infused personal elements into the characters, subtly bridging the gap between fiction and reality. One such touch involved Mike Frell's character B.J. Hunut, who was portrayed as a devoted family man. In a thoughtful nod to his own life, Frell had BJ's daughter named after his real-life daughter, Erin. This personal connection added authenticity to the character's portrayal of fatherhood. Similarly, when it came to Colonel Potter, played by Harry Morgan, the show's attention to detail once again shone through. The photo used to depict Potter's wife was in fact a picture of Morgan's actual spouse. Shocking, right? Well, let's move on. Number 13. A challenge for the writers. The MASH writing team faced ongoing challenges with cast members frequently complaining about the scripts, often requesting changes or expressing dissatisfaction with their lines. To address this issue creatively and firmly, writer Ken Levine and his colleagues devised a strategy that sent a clear message to the cast. On 2 occasions, They rewrote scenes requiring the actors to wear heavy winter parkas while filming outdoors. On the Malibu Ranch set during the peak of summer, where temperatures ranged from 90 to 100 degrees. Forced to perform under these uncomfortable conditions, sweating through layers of cold weather gear, the cast quickly understood the writer's frustration with the constant script notes. This clever tactic effectively discouraged further complaints. Number 12. Trivia and Easter eggs. Alan Alda's attention to detail is evident in his choice to wear the same hat that Donald Sutherland, who played Hawkeye Pierce in the 1970 MASH film, wore. This hat, seen in the series' opening credits, served as a symbolic bridge between the movie and the series, paying homage to the character's origins. Alda's dedication to preserving these small but significant details demonstrated his respect for the source material and his commitment to portraying Hawkeye in a way that honored the role's cinematic foundation. Another interesting piece of MASH history revolves around Radar O'Reilly's teddy bear, a seemingly insignificant prop that became one of the most cherished symbols of the series. Throughout the show, Radar's teddy bear was a comforting presence, reflecting the character's youthful innocence and vulnerability amidst the chaos of war. After the series ended, the bear was thought to be lost, sparking curiosity among fans who wondered about its fate. Remarkably, the bear resurfaced years later and was auctioned off to Gary Burghoff, the actor who played Radar, allowing the iconic prop to return to the actor who portrayed Radar. Number 11. The stories behind the names. During MASH's 6th season, the writers incorporated a playful and personal touch by naming 4 Marine patients after members of the 1977 California Angels baseball team. The following season, Season 7, they continued this tradition by naming patients after players from the 1978 Los Angeles Dodgers. This nod to the sport added an inside joke for fans familiar with the teams and showcased the writers' creative flair in blending pop culture with the series' narrative. Additionally, in the poignant episode Goodbye Radar, Radar O'Reilly's girlfriend was named Patty Haven, a tribute to one of writer Ken Levine's former girlfriends. This subtle yet striking detail is part of a broader pattern of small anachronisms scattered throughout the series, often escaping the notice of casual viewers. Another example of an out-of-place object appears in the 14th episode of the 11th season, Give and Take. In this episode, Sergeant Klinger performs an act of kindness by offering a chocolate bar to a severely injured North Korean soldier. While the gesture is heartwarming, the show accidentally includes a detail that breaks the period authenticity. The chocolate bar displays a UPC barcode. These barcodes, essential for modern retail, were not introduced until 1976, 2 decades after the Korean War. When the soldier turns the packaging upside down, the barcode is clearly visible, creating a small but glaring historical inaccuracy. Such details, while minor, show how MASH occasionally slipped in elements from the future, blending them into the show's 1950s setting in ways most viewers wouldn't easily spot. These little mistakes serve as quirky reminders that even the most carefully crafted period dramas sometimes get caught sneaking in modern conveniences. Speaking of the Korean War, here's another interesting tidbit. Number 9. The show lasted more than the war. Remarkably, MASH outlasted the actual conflict it depicted by a significant margin. While the Korean War itself lasted just 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days, from June 25, 1950 to July 27, 1953, the show aired for a full 11 years, premiering in 1972 and concluding in 1983. This considerable extension beyond the war's duration was never perceived as a drawback by the creative team. Instead, it was embraced as an opportunity to deepen the series' exploration of war's complexities and human costs. The producers and writers recognized that the show had grown into much more than a simple war comedy or drama. Over time, MASH became a culturally significant platform that blended sharp satire, dark humor, and poignant drama to address issues that extended far beyond the battlefield. resonating with audiences grappling with contemporary conflicts like the Vietnam War and broader questions about military ethics, trauma, and camaraderie. Alan Alda, who played the lead character Captain Benjamin Hawkeye Pierce, helped shape MASH into a sophisticated series capable of balancing comedy with serious social commentary. Alda and his colleagues understood that the longevity of the show allowed them to evolve the narrative and characters in ways that reflected the changing social and political landscape of the 1970s and early 80s. This temporal flexibility freed them from the constraints of strict historical accuracy regarding the war's timeline, enabling the show to use its fictional setting as a lens through which to examine enduring issues like the futility and wastefulness of war, the psychological toll on soldiers and medical staff, and the clash between individual morality and military protocol. The extended run also allowed for the development of richly drawn characters, whose personal stories and ethical dilemmas gave viewers a nuanced understanding of the war's impact on human lives. Over 11 seasons, MASH was able to depict the shifting dynamics of military life, the bonds forged in adversity, and the coping mechanisms, ranging from humor to rebellion, that individuals employed in the face of constant danger and loss. The show's success in transcending its original premise contributed to its lasting popularity, with episodes that blended slapstick comedy, heartfelt drama, and sharp political critique. Moreover, the longevity of the series ensured that it became a part of the cultural conversation surrounding war and peace well after the Korean War had faded from immediate public consciousness. Its continued presence on television during a time when the United States was grappling with the aftermath of the Vietnam War and Cold War tensions, gave MASH an enduring relevance. Number 8. Visible T markers. In the first episode of the 10th season, titled Showbiz, an ironic mistake appears that perfectly fits the episode's theme about the entertainment industry. In film and television production, actors are often guided on where to stand and which direction to face by marks on the ground, commonly shaped like a T. These T markers serve a purely technical purpose, helping actors hit their marks so the camera framing and lighting are just right. Ideally, these markers remain hidden from the audience to preserve the illusion of reality. However, in this episode's emotional final scene, where Father Mulcahy tearfully says goodbye to Sarah, the camera pulls back to a wide shot and unintentionally reveals several of these rubber T markers on the ground. One white T mark is clearly visible behind Father Mulcahy, right where Sarah had been standing moments before. Later, when Father Mulcahy rushes over and bumps into Nurse Kelly, some dirt is kicked up, exposing yet another black T marker nearby. This slip-up pulls back the curtain on the production process, breaking the immersion by exposing a part of filmmaking that should remain unseen. Many future stars made guest appearances on MASH during Alda's tenure, and his leadership contributed to the show becoming a fertile ground for emerging talent. His influence extended to mentoring younger actors and collaborating closely with the writing and production teams to maintain a consistent, high-quality narrative. Alda's presence behind the scenes helped the series maintain its delicate balance between irreverent comedy and sobering drama, ensuring that MASH remained relevant and resonant throughout its 11-season run. Number 6. Communication Breakdown. In the 6th episode of the 10th season, titled Communication Breakdown, the focus is naturally on a failure in communication among the characters. Yet ironically, the episode also reveals a breakdown behind the scenes in the production itself. During a scene where Major Charles fraternizes with Colonel Potter and Margaret, a nurse announces the arrival of a precious commodity in the 4077 camp, a newspaper. Given how rare newspapers are in the war zone, everyone eagerly scrambles to catch a glimpse of the latest headlines. As Major Charles sets the ground rules for reading the paper, sharp-eyed viewers may notice something entirely out of place. In the background, partially obscured by a signpost, a man who clearly does not belong to the story or the period strolls into the shot. This individual stands out with his long blonde hair and beard, wearing a modern-looking blue shirt and white pants, an outfit that is quite unlikely for any character or extra set during the Korean War. This unmistakably appears to be a member of the production crew accidentally captured on camera. This small but glaring goof demonstrates how even in a highly polished, award-winning series like MASH, occasional slip-ups happen. The presence of this crew member in the frame is a humorous reminder that television production involves many moving parts, and sometimes those parts briefly collide with the illusion the show aims to create. It's a subtle yet fascinating glimpse behind the scenes, turning a moment of narrative tension into a meta moment of real-life communication breakdown in production. Number 5. Most watched episode on American television. The series finale of MASH, titled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen, remains the most watched television episode in American history. This record holds even today. Airing on Monday, February 28, 1983, this 2.5-hour special captivated an astounding 77% of the entire U.S. population at the time. To put this into perspective, more people tuned in to watch MASH's finale than the Super Bowl broadcast that same year. The finale's unprecedented viewership also drove up the cost of advertising to extraordinary heights. While a typical 30-minute episode of MASH might have commanded around $30,000 for a 30-second commercial spot, companies had to shell out an eye-popping $450,000 for a similar slot during the finale's broadcast. This staggering increase not only highlights the commercial value of the event, but also indicates how advertisers recognized the massive audience's potential impact. The episode itself was a powerful and emotional conclusion to the series, wrapping up long-running storylines and offering a poignant farewell to beloved characters. It struck a chord with viewers by addressing themes of loss, hope, and the human cost of war, all while maintaining the show's signature blend of humor and heart. The finale's success solidified MASH's place in television history, marking it as a defining moment. Number 4, a hygiene blunder in MASH's final episode. In one notable episode, viewers witness a moment that defies what one would expect from seasoned military medics, especially the chief surgeon, Hawkeye Pierce. Despite the critical importance of sterile practices in surgery, this episode reveals a surprising lapse in basic hygiene and common sense. After completing a surgical operation, Hawkeye is called over by Frank Burns, who asks for help with another patient. Without taking a moment to clean his bloodied hands, Hawkeye eagerly plunges them straight into the patient's abdomen. This careless act is a glaring breach of medical safety protocols and presents serious health hazards that would be unthinkable in real-life operating rooms. The scene starkly contrasts the professional standards one would anticipate, especially given the show's otherwise respectful and often accurate portrayal of wartime medicine. Thankfully, since MASH is a fictional series with actors rather than real doctors, the risk was purely on screen. Nonetheless, this moment remains a striking example of a production oversight, showing how even a critically acclaimed show can sometimes sacrifice realism for the sake of drama or narrative flow. Number 3, spin-offs. MASH inspired 3 notable spin-offs, each exploring different facets of its beloved characters' lives after the war. The first and most successful was Trapper John, M.D., which aired from 1979 to 1986. This series followed the character Trapper John McIntyre during his tenure as chief surgeon at a San Francisco hospital. Interestingly, Wayne Rogers, who originally portrayed Trapper John on MASH, did not reprise his role for this spin-off. Despite this, the show carved out its own identity and enjoyed a respectable run. The second spin-off, simply titled After MASH, centered on 3 familiar characters, Colonel Potter, Father Mulcahy, and Klinger, as they navigated life working together in a veterans' hospital in Missouri. However, he later remarked with some surprise that the worker didn't seem particularly impressed or excited about the find. For most fans and historians, discovering such an artifact would be a thrilling experience, offering a unique connection to a legendary series that touched millions of viewers worldwide. And now we come to the big reveal. And now we come to the big reveal. Number 1. These MASH stars utterly hated Gary Burghoff. Gary Burghoff, the actor behind Radar O'Reilly, It Appears, wasn't everyone's favorite. For starters, Wayne Rogers, who famously portrayed Trapper John McIntyre on MASH, was known for his occasional volatility on set, particularly in relation to Burghoff. According to the 1983 biography of Alan Alda by Raymond Straight, tensions between Rogers and Burghoff escalated during one scene to such a degree that Rogers lost his temper and threw a chair at Burghoff. His relationship with Burghoff was marked by professional disagreements and personality clashes, which occasionally threatened the collaborative spirit of the production. Rogers' frustration can be partly understood in the context of the intense pressures and long hours involved in producing a hit television series. But he wasn't alone. McLean Stevenson, who played the affable yet often exasperated Colonel Henry Blake, offered a candid and nuanced view of his relationship with Burghoff, describing it as love-hate. Stevenson acknowledged the complex dynamic they shared. While he recognized Burghoff's talent and importance to the ensemble, Stevenson also admitted that their interactions were far from seamless. He openly confessed that both of them could be difficult for the other at times, saying, "Sometimes I was a problem for him, and he sometimes was a problem for me." This frank assessment suggests that their relationship was marked by mutual respect, but also by inevitable clashes of personality and working styles. Alan Alda, who played the central role of Hawkeye Pierce, reportedly experienced the most intense conflicts with Gary Burghoff. While Alda was widely seen as the leading force behind MASH, Burghoff felt underappreciated both in terms of recognition and creative input, leading to a simmering resentment. This sense of being undervalued sometimes made Burghoff appear rude or dismissive toward Alda and other cast members, exacerbating tensions. The strained relationship went beyond casual disagreements, with Burghoff's frustration manifesting in moments of sharp exchanges and icy interactions. Despite these difficulties, the cast maintained a professional front to ensure the series' continued success. However, the friction between Alda and Burghoff reveals how even beloved shows can harbor significant behind-the-scenes conflict, rooted in the pressures of fame, creative control, and the challenges of managing multiple strong personalities within a high-profile production. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? If you did, please consider liking, dropping a comment, and hitting the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our new uploads. Also, don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.